vanished. Wait a minute, that's the wrong one. Wait. Mystery on Everest. Ooh. Hi guys, welcome to a new episode on the channel. Today we're talking about Mount Watervest. No, I'm talking about Mount Everest. So let's get started. Before I want to talk about Mount Everest is that I really want to say something though, that the top is actually made out of limestone. And it turns out Mount Everest used to be underwater. That's why we have the bottle as Mount Everest today. Let's play Flip Up Bottle Challenge. Alright, so let's get started. Mystery on Everest. Why is Mount Everest a mystery? Well, it's not the mountain itself the mystery. I'm talking about the climbers, that's the mystery. What I mean by mystery, I meant the person who climbs it. We know all that Tenzing Norgay and Edmund Hillary were the people who went all the way to Mount Everest. But however, there are some debates that gay people who aren't even famous at all but are in this script called George Mallory and Andrew Irvin were the first people to get to the mountain but weren't successful in coming down. What's probably true if these other English dudes were the first people who climbed the mountain, it is true. It's probably true if that fact is true that Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay were just the first people to climb Mount Everest successfully and return successfully. I don't know about that successfully returning part, but yeah, let's just go on with this. How do we establish this union, you might be asking? Turns out there are loads and loads of ways to give out evidence that George Mallory and Andrew Irvin, keep that in mind, alright? My mind is so small. I was ready for that goldfish. Like what my friend says, I guess. Anyways, back to this. These people have been some of those, well, first people. They're like one of those firsts to climb the mountain. They did start climbing in June 1924. And then what happened is a lot of serious events that I can't even put this video in. But here are some proofs that George Mallory and Andrew Irvin were the first people to climb the mountain. First of all, George Mallory's body was found on the mountain itself. The mountain itself was pretty cool, and even it was found there. But once you get into like my ages, you might not even figure out how it works until you're my age. There's a lot of things that we need to memorize these days, but however, sometimes our brains are just too puny to get all those information. So this is why I'm making today's video, so you can watch and watch and watch and watch over and over and again. Unless I delete this video, which I will not. There are loads and loads of debates about how this works, and there are heated debates for the advantages that George Mallory and Andrew Irvin were the first people who went to the mountain. As I said earlier, one of those evidences is that one of the bodies, George Mallory's body, was found. Also, anything that was found inside there was just some matches and a knife, but no photo. Why a photo, you might be asking? They were looking for, well, George Mallory has taken a photo of his wife's photograph, and he planned to leave it at the top of the mountain if he reached the summit and then climb down. But since the photo's not there, there is a high possibility that the photo is actually on the summit itself. So that's a really good proof. But then there are some non-proofs, disproofs, disclaimers. Some disclaimers are that Tenzing Norgay probably didn't even have the right equipment to climb Mount Everest. Mount Everest might be the highest mountain in the world, and it is growing 4 millimeters every year. And that's really short. That means 4 divided by 365. Yeah, well, whatever. Anyway, it's 4 over 365. 4 over 365 of a millimeter that grows on Mount Everest every day. So Mount Everest is growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and growing until it, well, probably the end of time. if there is an end of time. There is a loads of ways for this to happen, and I really like some ways of how they actually put in this psychological event. There are ways of doing this, but once you get into my fields, you'll probably start losing memories. Like, you can't even remember what you were at 5, unless you are 5. And there is a lot you can do about it. How there's a lot you can do about when you're 5 is that because there are loads and loads of ways to get into this reading. But once you get into the reading version of yourselves, there will be ways of controlling yourself into the reading world. Books can help prepare for your life, and Mystery Universe that I've been just telling you about, probably one of those things that can help you fill your brains up until they rot, just like how one of Hogwarts song said. Anyway, back to this Mystery Universe. Everest, this video might be one of my videos that are longest of all for my Reading Explorers, since this is the end of my second series I'm making up in my Reading Explorers. But once I finish this series, I will still like you to check out my new series about this Reading Explorers. Eventually, when I finish the Reading Explorers or continue them, if there are new Reading Explorer books which are having a really low probability, 0.0000000000001% probability that there will be a new Reading Explorer book, but I wish there is. This is where I would really like this to go into kabooms. There are loads and loads of ways for this to go kaboom, as I said earlier, but once you get into my world, there's a lot of ways you can do, so keep in mind about that. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next episode. Shinhan out. Peace.